Thanks for joining our second tutorial series in Crossfire, and this one's about reaction fire. So starting off from our previous example, we covered movement. In this case, we have three squads that are near the bottom of this field, and one of them moves up into the field. Now what happens in this particular case is this is going to trigger reaction fire from a squad on the opposing side that was actually hidden. So within the small terrain feature you see down below, three new squads appear. And what happens here is that we can see that there's line of sight into both the terrain features. And so normally the squad that's shooting would use 3 dice, but since the field they're in counts as cover, they only use 2. Seeing the roll, there's a 5, so that scores as 1 hit, which is a pin. And we're going to talk about what these pins and suppressions mean afterwards. Now, the player decides to move with a group move. So moving in again, we have everybody who's in this group that can shoot, and there's 2 in total. So the first one's a 1 and a 5, no hits there. We go ahead and move to the second person, and that's a 2 and a 1. And so what happens, since both those missed in reaction fire, we mark those units with something called a no fire. In this case, I'm using these little circles as a marker. So now the final unit can move in and move in relative safely because those 2 cannot fire. So as a further example here, you can see there's another unit that's moved in. One of them is shot with a 5 and a 6, which counts as 2 hits, suppress. And then the second one shoots and gets 2 6s. These is a second hit, and normally this would be a suppress again, but in this case, this unit is taken out. And then we go ahead and remove the marker as well. And then finally, the rest of the units move into place, and just as before, they would go ahead and be shot at by the other units as normal. So thanks for joining us for the second one. The next session is going to be about general fire.